Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Apocalypto. I'm Mike and this is Apocalypto, your one-stop shop and stop for all things crypto and AI related. It's the weekend here in Asia. It's Sunday. Might be Saturday where you are, but it's Sunday here in Asia. If you're in Asia, it's Sunday. Good morning. And there's a lot going on in the markets today. I'm here in the mobile studio, so I wanted to bring you some crypto and AI love and just tell you my thoughts on what's going on in the world and in the market today. So let's just jump right into it. So this is breaking news actually, and it's not related to crypto or AI at all, but very sad. Colombian presidential candidate Miguel Uribe is in critical condition after he was shot in an assassination attempt during a political rally. I was going to show this video, but I'm not because it's pretty violent. So that's very sad. I hope he's okay. Thoughts to him and his family. In some other violent news, this will be the last of the violent news today on this episode. But, I want to just kind of give you a holistic view of what's going on in the world today, this crazy world that we live in and that we try and love our friends and our family in. Rioters in LA are smashing windows and torching streets, not for justice, not for peace, but to scream death to ICE and defend illegal immigration. This is this guy's opinion on what's happening here and why it's happening. Not necessarily my opinion. Do your own research, but let's just quickly watch what's going on in LA here. This is wild. Looks like a full-on war zone. Reminds me of the LA riots that when they were going on in the 90s. When was that? Like early 90s when Rodney King got beat up by the police. Yeah, there were some riots in LA and it was over a completely different reason. It was police brutality and racism back when that was actually like, or how should I say it? It was a very hot topic and there were riots and it was crazy. So this kind of reminds me of it, although I think it's a scaled down version. Now, I wouldn't be doing my fans and you justice if I didn't talk about the Elon-Trump family feud. Two grown adults have completely thrown their toys out of the pram, so to speak. If you've been living under a rock or have been on the internet for a few days, Elon and Trump a few days ago broke into what is now must be considered the world's greatest X beef, let's call it. So let's watch this short video on what's going on. This is a very slanted video, opinionated video, as all mainstream media is. I try and bring you less slanted opinions on this stuff. Of course, my opinion is very slanted. Everyone's is. I guess that's the point of having an opinion. But anyway, let's watch this and I'll give you my views.
Once the symbol of their close friendship,
everything's computer.
the red Tesla Donald Trump bought to support Elon Musk now sits idle in the White House car park. And like his billionaire ex-buddy, the president's keen to get rid of it.
Honestly, I've been so busy working on China, working on Russia, working on Iran, working on so many that I'm not thinking about Elon. Sure, I just wish you well.
Playing down their very public break-up, sparked by Musk's criticism of Trump's signature Big Beautiful Bill.
As two divas fighting with each other at a time when the United States and the world needs strong, smart leadership.
The president says Musk wants to talk to him, but
I'm not really interested in that.
after his extraordinary social media attack, culminating in Musk saying the president is named in the infamous Epstein files, documents related to the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Donald Trump pushing back today, reposting a statement from Epstein's lawyer. I can say authoritatively, unequivocally, and definitely that he had no information to hurt President Trump. I specifically asked him. Musk now threatening to start his own political party, one that actually represents the 80% in the middle. The president's response, that would be tough to do. The broken bromance is front-page news here in the United States, but no one's really all that surprised. Americans say they saw this coming a mile off.
I think it was doomed from the beginning.
I think Elon went a little bit too far when he, dropped the Epstein list X post, and then, Trump retorted and said, we're going to defund his space program. And then Elon retorted and said, we're going to decommission the Dragon, which is the space system that takes astronauts to the space station. Absolutely necessary for international space relations and space development. So none of that happened. Fortunately, there was a de-escalation after that. But, everyone's got an opinion on this. And I really actually believe that Elon, the main reason he's doing this, the main reason he left the White House, I think the reason he funded Trump, 250 million, I think was the amount of money he contributed to the Trump campaign, did help him win the election, is because of the spiraling U.S. debt. I think it's up now to 36 trillion. We saw the debt clock in the last episode, and I do think that Elon Musk's mission in his life and with his companies is to help human consciousness spread to interplanetary, to other planets and to beyond our solar system, and starting with Mars. So he's got this big mission with SpaceX, get humans to Mars, and I think he feels like we can't do this if the U.S. is in so much debt and the debt is spiraling. So I think kind of his whole ethos and philosophy is that we need to get the U.S. debt down, not just to get humans into space, but just to help with a more healthy U.S. economy in general. So in this thread, you can see how insane the current government spending is, how far we've drifted away from any sustainable fiscal spending. This is based on reported numbers. There are no assumptions. In the current fiscal year, the government already spent 4.1 billion. This is for the first 7 months, and the fiscal year ends in September. 4.1 billion actually sounds low, but anyway, the latest available, the already accrued deficit amounts to over 1 trillion. So I think that's just so far this year. So you can see in the chart, net interest expense has become the number 2 largest spending category. 579 billion, and exceeded national defense. So the interest has now exceeded defense spending. And this is just for the year. I think we're very close to the interest amounting to about 25% of all fiscal spending, right? So it's totally insane, and it needs to get sort of managed and brought under control. And so on the other side, Trump is, I think, leading the front on this big, beautiful bill, which I think is going to add another 2 or 3 trillion to the debt. And that kind of undoes all of Elon Musk and the Dodge team's work that they've done up until this point, to help reduce the debt. So in the last 6 months, Elon, went to the White House, started Dodge, tried to get the debt down, exposed a lot of fraud in government spending, this kind of thing. And I think the people of America want the debt to come down. I don't think they were really too happy about all this fraud that's going down. But I do think this is the main reason why Elon is kind of pushing back. And, he's still posting. This was today or yesterday, June 7th, Congress is banking America. All right, so let's move on to some actual crypto news. The fear and greed index it's doing okay. How's it doing here? So we are at 55. I mean, we were up around 76 and now down to 55. We've come up from 46. This is the CMC Crypto Fear and Greed Index. What are my thoughts on the market? I think we're in an interesting place. I mean, where is Bitcoin right now? Bitcoin is sitting at 105,000. It's up, 1% on the day. It's up 1 point. I mean, we had a massive dip. Did you guys buy this dip here when it went down to 100,000, almost, 100.8 thousand? I wish I had a limit order in, but didn't happen. The altcoin season is still not looking that great. We are at a 25. I think we've come up a little bit from, where were we? Sorry. It's gone up, actually. It used to be 62%, now it's 63. Let's take a quick look at the ETFs. Okay, so this is kind of a tail of the tape in terms of like liquidity flowing into the crypto market, is when you look at the Bitcoin ETFs, mainly Bitcoin, BlackRock, and all the other big ETF vendors, but mainly BlackRock. So we had 278 million outflows on the 5th, and so slightly less outflows now. It's 47 million. So if you want to look at the flows and the liquidity, look at the ETFs. That will really tell you what's going on with the liquidity and the volume in the market. And so I think if you look at the trends, all of the stuff, the data that we just looked at, I think the markets are coming back a little bit. I think we could be poised to start heading back up soon. In other news, I want to try and keep this episode under 20 minutes. So I'm going to move along quite quickly here. By the way, please subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to Apocalypto. I'm trying to get up to 200 subscribers. I think we're up to 159 now, 159 subscribers. This is the channel. It's Apocalypto-AI. We talk crypto and AI shows weekly. And so if you like my content, please subscribe, please comment. It definitely helps. And the algorithms will be tremendously grateful. And my voice just popped there. And also, please share with your friends as well, because that also helps. And if you have like-minded crypto AI friends, maybe they'll enjoy my content as well. And I really appreciate everything. I really appreciate you as my trusted fans and friends. Circle. IPO this week. Would you buy the Circle IPO? Let's look at Circle because Circle is a big company. It's Circle stock. There we go. Let's just look at the Yahoo here. So it's way up like 29%, but it like I tried to buy it when it first IPO'd and I couldn't. My exchange like blocked me from buying, but it's up like a lot since the IPO. So so basically Dom says I wouldn't invest right now. It's 168% pop since it IPO'd. When bankers price an IPO, they engineer a pop on IPO day, as we just saw with Circle's 168% pop. This sharp price increase creates huge excitement and bullish sentiment around the company, with all eyes focused on the stock, drawing more investors in and driving price higher. But don't fall for it. I agree with what this guy's saying. I would have bought it when it was just coming out because it would have been nice to get 168%. What is Circle? Circle is a US company that issues the stablecoin USDC, US company. They issue USDC, the stablecoin. And what is Circle company? They are managed by Jeremy Allaire, who's the CEO. It's a peer-to-peer payments technology company that manages the stablecoin USDC, cryptocurrency, and now the value is pegged. The value of USDC is pegged to the US dollar. And so it's a big deal because the US government is actually going to hopefully approve a stable coin bill in the coming months, which would be the first, I think, US Congress bill to be like crypto related bill to be approved in the Trump administration. And so I think this is the bill itself, and just the Trump administration itself is very bullish on crypto. And I think the US stable coin bill is going to also kind of help regulate and provide some clarity and insight and transparency into the stablecoin market, which is very important for liquidity flowing into the crypto markets. Because what happens is when these big treasury organizations, sovereign wealth funds, the ETF organizations, BlackRock, and these type of companies, when they want to on ramp and off ramp in and out of crypto, when these big institutions need to on-ramp and off-ramp large chunks of liquidity on and off ramp to and from crypto, they need payment. They need a blockchain payment rail to do so. And stable coins can offer that on-ramp and off-ramp payment system, that Web3 payment system. And USDC is very important. USDT is the other stable coin, which we talked about a little bit in a previous episode, and I might do a deep dive into. But anyway, now Circle has gone IPO. It's a huge valuation. They're doing really well, but maybe not a great time to buy. This is a quick video by a guy named Brent Addock, who I believe he's the CEO of a robotics company called, Figure. And Figure is like a robotics company. They're like a pure play robotics company. They make robots, humanoid robots, I guess we should say. Get back to that video in a little bit. Well, actually, we can just watch this video. So yeah, Figure is a cool company. They're making humanoid robots. I think they're a US company. Figure is the first of its kind AI robotics company bringing a general purpose humanoid to life. And I think they're a private company right now. So very exciting stuff. I would keep your eye on this company because their robots are cool, like very good looking robots, very slick looking, and the actuators on the wrists and the joints seem to be like really functioning at another level compared to a lot of robotics companies that I've seen. I think Tesla and Figure are the two leading humanoid robotics companies right now, and I think this is going to be a huge industry. This is going to be one of the biggest industries in the future. Amazon also just released a new humanoid robot for their logistics and not manufacturing, but logistics and warehouse centers. And like Amazon, I think, has like 400,000 workers in their warehouses. So if they can like replace all of those humans with robots, I mean, that's obviously not good for jobs in that area, for warehouse jobs. So I don't want to like sugarcoat it, but I think it's very bullish for the GDP of the US and the world, in terms of like all boats will rise when we put robots in the factories to do this grunt work, and humans can like get retrained to do more meaningful and interesting work. I don't want to jump into like a whole tangent on like why I think the humanoid robots industry and trend is actually very bullish for mankind. I'll maybe do that in another episode. but I do think it's good for us, and I think it's going, like, I think the robotics industry is going to be a multi-trillion-dollar industry. So if you're an investor, which I think mainly most of you are on this channel, keep your eye on this channel, on this trend. This is a video by Michael Saylor talking about, I mean, he's just talking about Bitcoin, of course. Gee, newsflash, Michael Saylor talking about Bitcoin. But anyway, let's take a look at this video, see what he has to say.
I think that's what's happening now, that the industry is growing up. It's becoming more secure. It will be accepted by banks. It will. I'll leave it at this thought, which is, when your bank tells you they'll buy Bitcoin for you and they'll make it really easy, and you can do it on the phone, it'll cost you $1 million Bitcoin. And when your bank calls you on the phone and says, you know, you really ought to buy Bitcoin, it's a digital monetary alternative, and when they recommend it, it'll cost you $10 million of Bitcoin. And right now, no bank's going to recommend it, and they're not going to help you buy it, and you're going to have to jump through hoops, and you're going to feel really nervous about it, but you'll get to buy it around 100,000 or a little bit less than 100,000 of Bitcoin. And I think they're all three the same risk-reward proposition, and I bought it at 10,000. I'm buying it in billions of dollars of quantity at 100,000. I'll be buying it at $1 million. I'll be buying it at 10 million.
Michael Saylor will be buying this at 10 million. That's wild. All right. So on to the next bit of news. Next, CryptoZar Sachs says Bitcoin is an excellent store of value. That's not really a news flash. Bitcoin is the original and strongest one. So let's listen to David Sachs. He is the White House AR and crypto czar. I'm the Apocalypto AI and crypto czar. So it's really good to have kind of that type of relation with David Sachs, who I've never met. It does
for us, if you will, the value of Bitcoin specifically, cryptocurrency and blockchain technology in general. As we're now in the Trump administration era, we're in the back half of the 2020s. Back 5 years ago plus, there was talks about, using it as a means of buying things. Now it's more about the store of value and the way, perhaps hedge against inflation in various currencies. What do you see as the real value and the reason why the United States government should be paying so much attention to it?
Well, I think there's a few different aspects here when you're talking about digital aspects. So first of all, you got Bitcoin. It was the first digital currency, and it's the original. It's the strongest one. In the parlance of the industry, it's the most Lindy, meaning it's been around for over a dozen years now. No one's ever hacked it. No one's ever cracked the security around it. And so it is an excellent store of value. So that would be point number one. Bitcoin is run on, as you know, a blockchain. It's basically a distributed ledger, which is essentially a form of decentralized computing. And that platform can be used to create a lot of other types of products. And so that would be sort of technology area number two, is all the innovation that can be built on top of blockchains. And then that's something that we're gonna have to decide.
Yeah, so I agree with David Sachs. Bitcoin is the original store of value. It's a distributed ledger. It's blockchain, which is a way to decentralize computer systems in a peer-to-peer way. And it's the original. It's the OG. 15 years, 16 years going now, never been hacked, keeps growing, keeps going up. So I agree with David. And, I think on that note, if you are getting into crypto, if you're new to crypto, welcome. Great to meet you. First of all, buy Bitcoin. It's the first thing that you should do if you're interested in investing and interested in blockchain and interested in crypto. First thing you should do, absolutely, in terms of this isn't financial advice, this is entertainment advice, but get some Bitcoin. However you can do that. There's multiple ways you can do it. You can buy it on exchanges. You can buy it on DeFi. If you want to get degen, buy it from your friends. Bitcoin has the same number of users as the internet had in 1999. We are still early. So this is wild. So I guess the red is the internet, and then the orange is Bitcoin. So you can see the internet's taken off. So we are where was it? 2000-ish? What does it say? Or 99? Yeah, 99, 2000. So this is if this was Bitcoin on this red chart, we'd be here. And so Bitcoin is actually growing faster than the internet in terms of its growth adoption. So yeah, this is potentially what we have ahead of us. I love these types of charts because it kind of visualizes the future of Bitcoin. On a similar and related note, if there's billions of dollars flowing into Bitcoin, why is it not going up? zoom out. It is going up. Okay. This is a chart from 2021. We pumped, we came down, we're going back up. Every time it comes down, it goes back up. So, like even if you bought at the top here, you like, it would be like buying here, or buying here. So I think Sherber, like, worried about Bitcoin, crypto in general, just zoom out. This is a great way to, get perspective and breathe. All right. Next, I want to talk a little bit about Tesla. I know this is not crypto, but it's definitely AI. And I'm a big, I'm bullish on Tesla in the future, and I'm bullish on Elon Musk. I am a fanboy for sure, but I think I'm a fanboy for the right reasons. I'm actually reading Walter Isaacson's biography book on Elon Musk right now, and it's absolutely fascinating. I'm only like 20% in. I'll keep reporting on it. But one thing I've learned about Elon just early on in this book and his life is he had a very hard life. He grew up in South Africa. His dad was a complete asshole. Sounds like he had some sort of a personality disorder. What would it be, like manic depressant or something like this? I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but just he's like totally cool one day and totally not cool the other day. So grew up in a slightly abusive environment with his dad specifically. His mom sounds really cool. But anyway, besides all that, he moved to Canada when he was like 18 to get out of the family environment. And I think just to get better opportunity. I'm from Canada. He went to Queen's, which is a university very close to, where I went to university. Actually around the same time. He's like 6 months older than me. So I was thinking about it. I'm like, oh my God, Elon and I were like right down the road from each other, going to university at the exact time. I had no idea. I was drinking beer and smoking weed back then in a band without a care in the world. I'm digressing here. But anyway, Elon then moved to the US, and very early on in his life, around this time, maybe probably way earlier than this, he was thinking about building rockets and going to Mars and this kind of thing. He had a girlfriend, I think her name was Justine. She was Canadian. And he would talk to her about this stuff. I want to build rockets. I want to go to Mars, this kind of thing. Started an internet company with his brother. That did all right. Sold that. It was like a geolocation, Yellow Pages / mapping company. Did well with that. And then he was like, I think like, do something else with the internet. But then he like started to think like, what do I want to do? I want to like actually contribute to humanity. So that was kind of the beginning of the journey to Tesla and to SpaceX. I will continue to report on this book as I get through it, but it's absolutely fascinating insight into his life and his history. So this is an interesting post on Tesla because he, like Emmett says, sentiment on Tesla seems to be changing. And I want to talk about this a little bit and I'll move on. But we spoke to multiple people today who said they are liquidating their Tesla. What are we thinking? Is the Trump Elon debacle, which we talked about earlier, actually a reason to sell, even if you want to get back at a lower price, buy the dip? Or is this short-term noise that really won't matter soon? The main headwinds are bad European sales. Tesla sales are down in Europe. They're pretty bad. Cybertruck 0% APR doesn't feel bullish for demand. Cybertruck sales have not been great compared to what Elon predicted, that's for sure. Trump might gut any self-driving regulations to get back at Elon. I doubt that. That's just pure speculation. The tailwinds are obviously FSD and humanoid scaling, but the question is when they ramp up the show growth that affects the bottom line. Who's selling? Okay, so this is just pure FUD, pure science fiction, but he did hit on like out of this whole post, there's like 2 correct points, FSD and humanoid scaling. I think people are continuing to undersell this entire thing. So I want to talk a little bit about why this is noise and why we should zoom out on this whole situation and why I think I'm buying the dip. You do you, but I think this is a great opportunity to get in at a low price. I think Tesla went down below 300. I think anything below 300 right now is long-term a great deal. Again, not financial advice, but my opinion. And also, we need to think about the fact that Trump has a 4-year term, right? So there will be another president after Trump. Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. He's over $4 billion. And so he could play the long game. Did he have a little bit of a Asperger's meltdown in that X beef? Yeah, probably. I think Elon, he talks about in this book how he has Asperger's, although he was never diagnosed, but I think he admits that he has it. So was it one of those? Perhaps. I'm not like justifying it, but I think it was a beef, right? And who cares? Let's zoom out and look at the big picture. So here's what I think about why I think Tesla is going up, and it's going to be the most valuable company in the world in the near future. First of all, let's talk about AI. Tesla's Dojo computers are going to shift from self-driving to powering humanoid robots and a diverse AI group of applications. So I think Tesla's not an EV company. I think in 5 years, Tesla might not even be making EVs. Probably they will, but maybe not. Tesla is a platform for AI and robotics, and the robotics are the endpoints, but the main brain and intelligence in the computer is the AI, powered by Dojo, powered by Cortex, and powered by Colossus. Okay. So whatever the endpoints are, whether they're robots or EVs, that remains to be seen. But I think the platform itself and the vision is that it's an AI platform with robotic endpoints. However, we need to power this stuff. We need energy, right? So there's going to be a battery pivot. The gigafactories may produce power cells for robots, not just EVs, scaling energy solutions exponentially. And I think solar is going to be a huge part of powering the batteries. So, if you combine the latest cutting edge breakthroughs in solar and the latest cutting edge breakthroughs in battery storage, you could actually power vast, massive AI data clusters with no use of oil or gas, which is really going to be a game-changing idea. Factory transformation, EV assembly. This whole thesis that's written here by Super Grok actually is my sort of. I asked Super Grok to tell us why Tesla might not even be an EV company in 5 years. Factory transformation, EV assembly lines could be retooled to turn out millions of Optimus humanoid robots. Okay. Robotics revolution. Optimus could dominate, handling tasks from factories to caregiving and becoming Tesla's flagship product. So this is why we think the Optimus humanoid robot, which in its current form will be very different in 5 years, could be a $25 trillion opportunity. The AI cluster evolution, FSD AI tech could train robots, enabling rapid development of new AI-driven endpoints. So this is what I was talking about earlier. You take all these AI cluster data centers, Cortex, Dojo, and Colossus 2 now, and they will be the super brain for the AI-driven endpoints, which are the robots and the cars. So if you put all this together, this is potentially a 25 trillion market cap opportunity, which would make Tesla by far the biggest company in the world and a tremendous opportunity if you're an investor. This episode is brought to you by Dynaflow.ai. Dynaflow is a next level AI voice agency. Dynaflow.ai makes AI voice agents. And AI voice agents are virtual receptionists that can handle calls, book appointments, and answer questions. So you own a small business in the US or elsewhere, and you're busy, you're working from 6 in the morning to 6 at night, especially if you're doing a home improvement business or a real estate business or any kind of business where you're just really busy and you don't have time to answer the phone. You can benefit from AI voice agents because AI voice agents can answer the phone for you, book appointments, answer calls, and do all sorts of other really interesting things that will help you reduce the expenses of your business, help you save time. You will never miss a call, provide better customer experience, and even do lead gen and revenue generation type activities to help you increase bookings. AI voice agents are simple, affordable agents to help you handle your business in a more effective and efficient way. Dynaflow.ai offers AI voice agents, which are customized for your business. So we can help you with the setup and integration. And when I say we, I mean Dynaflow, the company. Dynaflow can also help you with training and support on these agents. What industries does Dynaflow serve? All sorts of industries, including hospitality, e-commerce, real estate, home services. So if you have a home services industry, where you're busy out doing landscaping or gutters or windows or power washing, and you need someone to answer the phone for you and you find phone services are too expensive and just don't do the job. Really, AI voice agents are something that you might want to take a serious look at because they can exponentially help you take your business to another level. Here's all the different use cases in terms of what AI voice agents and how Dynaflow.ai can help you. Appointment scheduling, this is probably the main thing where AI voice agents answer phone and book appointments directly to your calendar. So no more phone tagging or missed opportunities. They answer the phone, they book the appointment. Meeting bookings, your voice agent, your virtual receptionist can handle scheduling, consulting calls, virtual meetings, works with Zoom, Google Meet, and Microsoft Teams so we can integrate into your existing systems, reservation systems, service inquiries, fact answering. So someone calls your business and asks a question, hey, what does your business do? The AI voice agent will tell your potential customer about all of that, lead generation and customer support. So if you're interested in finding out more about Dynaflow.ai, check out their website. It's Dynaflow.ai, www.dynaflow.ai. They have a voice demo that you can check out. You just put in your number, your name, your email, and then an agent will call you and book an appointment so you can actually demo the technology firsthand. Or if you just want to talk to the CEO about this technology for your business, just book an appointment on the website through the Calendly calendar. All right, I think we're going to wrap up now. That's it for this episode. Thank you for tuning in on this Sunday morning. Do you guys like coffee? I love coffee. Just going to finish off my coffee as we end the episode. You can probably tell I'm a little amped up on coffee as we speak. Please subscribe to my channel, Apocalypto. And really thanks for tuning in. What do you think about everything that's going on in the market today? What do you think about AI? In the next episode, I'll get more back into some crypto projects that I'm interested in. I like to oscillate back and forth between global macro news because I think that's important to understand what's going on in terms of where the market's going, and also specific projects as well, which I'm very bullish on crypto overall in the future. And I think that overall the future is looking really bright for you, for me, and for humanity. Thanks for tuning in. That's it for now. This was supposed to be a 20-minute episode and it's turned into an almost 40-minute episode, but that's the way it goes in this amazing world. Thanks for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Peace out for now.
Meet Dynaflow's AI agents, your hotel's unstoppable helpers, always on call to handle guest inquiries and bookings. Our agents respond instantly, personalize recommendations, and never keep your guests waiting. Free your staff from routine calls and let them focus on wowing your guests with genuine hospitality. The result? Happier guests, smoother operations, and unforgettable stays. Ready to level up? Visit www.dynaflow.ai today.